I feel like what makes dance unique from other art forms is it's your body expressing movement, whereas singing, it's like your voice, so it's one part of you, or writing, it's your thoughts, whereas dancing, it's that, but you're using your body with it. They talk about all the endorphins that you get from exercising. And dancing is a form of exercising, but utilizing music with it. So I think it's the combination of the therapy you get from music and the therapy you get from exercising. Once you do it once or twice, you get kind of addicted. So I feel like that's kind of how it was for me. So the way I got into dance was I grew up doing musical theater. My favorite parts were always the dance parts, and we did this one dance that was kind of a hip-hop fusion. And I'm like, what is this dance style? I really like this. So I started looking it up on YouTube. Then I started joining dance teams, and it really was a big source of happiness for me. Hip-hop is a style that kind of expresses itself with like more power, I guess, and I always felt like I needed to get some of that out, so hip-hop was a really great way for me to do that. When the pandemic hit, it kind of got back to that sort of space where now I was learning dances off of TikTok, and I found shuffling. And that was a really unique dance style because shuffling is a very happy dance, and so I felt like that was another part of me that I wanted to get out. I'm a ridiculously optimistic person. When I first started shuffling, I decided to document it from day one. So the first video that I ever filmed shuffling, I posted it on my TikTok. Usually people don't share something like that until they're good. People aren't always authentic and they aren't always honest. You know, they call it the highlight reel. So you see everyone's successes, but you don't see their failures, and it's really affecting people's mental health. But I wanted to really document my life in a way where you saw the bad as well as the good. Back in 2019, during the summer, I bought a van off of Craigslist, converted it, which basically means I just took out all the chairs, ripped out all the carpet, put in vinyl wood flooring, and threw a mattress in there with some bins for clothes. Van life really gave me the freedom to move around. It didn't hold me down to one place. When the pandemic hit, I lost all 3 of my jobs because they were all in entertainment and everything got shut down, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I guess trucking was one of the things that I was like, okay, they're getting paid to travel and drive, so it was kind of just a natural evolution of things. I'd say the thing I love about driving is it's a way of experiencing nature, but in like a fast-paced way. And you won't get this if you live in a big city and that's the only place you drive, but when you drive on a road trip to like go out into the middle of nowhere, you're passing through these mountains and valleys and you're driving through all these places, it really just lets you sit and kind of reflect on your life and get a lot of thinking done. One of the biggest things you need for living a nomadic life is you need to be adaptable and you need to be okay with constant change. And I feel like that's rare because we all want stability, we want a routine. And so living in a van helped me learn about how, you know, your environment's always changing. There's going to be different challenges you encounter. And so that was a very similar aspect between living in a van, living in a truck. Because every morning I would wake up somewhere different, drive somewhere different, and go to sleep in this weird place. Being a young woman in the trucking industry has a lot of stories behind it of why you should be scared or why you should not do it. My experience hasn't been like that at all. I feel like I haven't been treated differently. The best compliment that I've ever gotten was I was parking my truck at this one warehouse. It was a really tight space. The guy in the warehouse walks out, he's like, "You just parked better than 90% of the men that come through here." And I was like, thank you. It's fun to break the stereotype. People used to say women sucked at driving, you know, and now here I am driving a full semi-truck that men are scared to drive sometimes. Driving for night has been so much better than I expected, honestly. I had high hopes, and it's hard for a big company like this to genuinely care about individual people. But I always felt like I had at least 3 people being like, hey, how's it going? Are you doing okay? And that was kind of insane to me, because usually once you get hired, they just like, hey, have a good time. You know, you never hear from anybody ever again. But my managers were always checking in on me, making sure I was okay, making sure I felt safe, that I had everything that I needed. And in an industry like this, that's really important, because once you get trained, you're kind of out on your own. So it's really nice to have people you can call. It's just been really the best experience, especially for somebody who's never driven a truck before.